Hello and howdy. I think that's a first. I started the stream and I forgot to add myself to it. I don't know if that was a bit of confusion. I went live and I wasn't there. So, how's everybody doing this Saturday? Let's see, it looks like there are three of you. So, happy Saturday afternoon, or at least it's noon right now in my time zone, at least. Let me see. So we have Mystery Mac. I love this movie. I actually rewatched it again not long ago. It's definitely the kind of film that gets better with each viewing. I agree. There are definitely different ways of viewing it. I noticed several different things this watching, and I definitely I want to say I also, and I'll be honest, I took a look at a couple of other analyses, so I definitely have different points of views as well, just because I wanted to get different perspectives. So I'll be honest on that. But I would like to get everyone else's thoughts on this as well. And of course, I've got the pack with me. And I'm weekend puppy sitting. So there's about 5 doggies in the background. So please pardon the noise. And then, of course, Slipknot fan, bonjour, mon ami. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. And of course, bonjour to you as well. Ça va? How are you doing? I haven't seen The Witch yet, so I'll probably have to leave the chat once you guys start discussing the film. I mean, if you want to hang around, that'd be cool. It's up to you. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably do a little bit of a chit chat. I'm hoping to get into it. I don't want to do as long a chit chat as we did last time. I love Robert Eager's movies, though. I've seen The Lighthouse and The Northman, which are truly excellent. See, I'm not too familiar with his filmography. I loved The Lighthouse. I have a copy of The Northman. I haven't seen that one yet. But it's good to know I enjoy his movies, not really realizing that they're him. So I guess I'm a low-key fan. I don't know what the actual phrasing would be, but yeah, I apparently love his style. I'm doing okay. Well, that's good to know. Any weekend plans or anything that you've been up to? I want to avoid spoilers. No, absolutely. This one's great. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. I don't like spoilers also, to be honest. I like to go into a movie. I like to blind watch stuff, to be honest. The Northman was amazing as well. The Lighthouse I liked, but need to rewatch it, I think. Just let me know if the guys are getting too loud. I'll move to a different room. It's just since I'm doggy sitting, I'm trying to stay where I can keep an eye on them. Let's see. That's my grumpy doggy. I just discovered Brian De Palma directed the first Mission Impossible movie, which I really like. I didn't watch the first one. I think I saw the second one, the one with Tandy Newton. That's where I discovered her. And then I went back and I watched one of her earlier films, the one that she did with Nicole Kidman. I liked that one. And it touched on racism. I think that one was also filmed in Australia. She's not, South Africa. I think she's South African, if I remember correctly. That's where she gets that lovely accent from. The Lighthouse was very different than I anticipated. It really was. It still has that dark aspect, but I think it was good. I really liked how it kind of sticks with that paranoia or that group hysteria film. That theme that he does. I don't know if Northman does that. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's a retelling of Beowulf. And same as Slipknot fan. No spoilers, please. I haven't seen it. I want to get around to watching that one as well. So I also don't know which directors have directed some of my favorite movies. Yeah, I'm like that. Like I'm more like I have certain directors that I really like, and I'll follow their filmography once I get to really knowing who does what. But yeah, I didn't know that that Eggers had done those 3 films, so I'll probably go back and really start paying attention to what he's done, which are probably just those 3 films. But I'll probably look into his background a bit more, like Lars von Trier, for example. I love his work. I'm very into what he does. Mission Impossible 3 was my favorite from that franchise. I haven't watched all of them, to be honest. Like I like the films. It's just I'm not sure if they did 5 altogether or up to how many they did. They did do quite a few, to my understanding. But yeah, there was a bit of a handful. Mission Impossible 2 was not very good, though. No, I don't remember the story all that well. I just remember I had a voucher to a free movie, and that's the one that I happened to choose. Oops, I think I skipped someone. Techno Shaman, Hale. If I remember correctly, I haven't seen you around in a long while. How have you been? Great to have you. Hello and howdy to you as well. And glad you could make it, obviously, of course. Lowest rated Mission Impossible film. It could have ended the franchise. Really? That bad, huh? Oh, gosh. We're on the 7th film by now. I think it's time to call it quits then. Wow. I don't think it's necessary to have that many. And I think they released a box set a couple of years ago. I mean, I know they did one for James Bond, but I think it's usually when it closes out, that's usually a good time to close it out. But hey, it's a marketing thing. They know what they're doing. I haven't seen any of them. I'm not keen on the actors. Yeah, Tom Cruise isn't everyone's cup of tea. Some people find him obnoxious. So fair enough. That's yeah, he's not for everyone. I've been good, thank you. Well, that's good to hear, as long as everyone's keeping well, and that's really all anyone can really ask for. So, I mean, that's the important thing. Let me see. It looks like we've got a good turnout. Let me see. So if you guys are ready, we can go ahead and jump into the film discussion. I mean, I didn't want to do like an hour chit chat and then jump back and forth. I mean, we can do more of a chit chat time after. I was never really a Tom Cruise fan, but when I saw Born on the 4th of July, I realized he was a great actor. That's I remember liking that one. It was a bit dry for me. Um, I really don't remember the story though. To be honest, I'd have to go back and rewatch that. Um, I remember some people saying that they really disliked him in um, Rain Man. They couldn't stand the way he treated Dennis Hoffman, which I mean, obviously he had a I don't want to call it a disability, but he definitely had a. I mean, obviously he was a savant, but he had a disadvantage in that film. Um, oh, I guess I'll come back later then. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to boot you. I mean, whatever you want to do. If you want to hang around, and then if you feel that it's too spoilery, it's up to you. How long the witch talk gonna be? Um, my best guess is probably 45 minutes to an hour. You can probably poke in and see how we're doing, but we're definitely going to do more of a chit chat afterward. I mean, we'd love to have you back, definitely, for sure. I've commented on a few of your vids. I think you're one of the best doing horror reviews. You go deep in depth with intelligence, covering all areas. Well, thank you for saying. I appreciate that. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that. I mean, I try to look at things from a different perspective. Um, I mean, I definitely like to incorporate at least my thoughts and different ways of thinking. I mean, I don't like to just go into like, I wish I had looked at V a lot differently. I'd like to do a do-over at some point. I think I could have done that a lot better. But thank you so much for saying, yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'll be back in 45 minutes. Alrighty, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I've seen this movie, The Witch. I enjoyed it very much. Absolutely. Yeah, and I'll be honest, I was looking at other people's analyses, so I'd like to incorporate that too, because there were things that I had missed. And so I'd like to take a look at that, because there were people's arguments saying that it's not really a horror film, which I didn't take into consideration. I did consider it like a straight up horror film, but I consider it more of a commentary on faith, which is what I really consider these types of films. Is I'm not sure what HB stands for. I apologize. Yeah, they're intelligent and thought-provoking points that you make another perspective. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, like, I consider like this genre like more their commentaries on faith. They kind of test like people, like and I'm sorry, I should have written down my talking points. I know I'm always saying that. It's just I always go on the fly with these because I treat them more like casual conversations. But and I consider it more like they're like case studies, you know, like in some positions people are very devout, which in this situation I believe that's why the family was exiled. Is the father, he was very, I didn't catch his name, I should have pulled up my IMDb, but he was very prideful, and that's what was pointed out to me. Is this film also touches on the 7 deadly sins. I don't know if you guys would agree with me. but their faith is tested, and that's what I feel this film is a commentary on, is just faith in general, which is why I feel that they had slipped and that they were tested. I mean, I didn't initially understand why they had been cast out. Like, I don't know what they did that was in disagreement with the church. Like, if they were, if they had kind of like slipped away from the belief system and they were moving in a direction that was away from like the overall belief system. Like, if they were thinking outside of the box, like, I believe the Puritan faith should believe this, this, and this, whereas the congregation is saying, no, it should be this. So in that sense, pride, let me see. So makes it more authentic in essence. I apologize. Your time travel there via your screen, LOL. HB, hurry back, by the way. Oh, okay. I apologize. I didn't understand the shorthand there. I mean, like, so I was thinking in that direction initially. So that's why I thought that they had been cast out. So in that sense, that's why I thought that they had been told to leave, is because they had strayed from the initial accepted thought from the church. And you can see it, like how the father is prideful. I mean, they still hold in their faith, but they are being tested throughout the film, as far as their crops are failing. The mother just becomes like very grouchy. The father's very desperate to provide for his family. They have no food to eat. The father's going out and he's trying to hunt with his son. They find that hair that they're trying to bring back for food, which at least in my experience with symbolism, a hair is associated with evil. In this sense, let me see. Meiji to leave via kangaroo court, by consensus. Gentium. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but I agree with that. They initially had been ganged up upon, but I agree with you on that. And I noticed, and of course the story is okay. Thank you. I noticed and that's what it draws upon. And I'm sorry if I'm just jumping back and forth. I like I said, I should have written my notes down. The story does touch on notes from the Crucible, and even in the film it says they did try for period accuracy. So it does touch on several folklore, I believe, notes and cases from the period where they did take note from other cases, like like the play acting that the two twins do earlier. At least I take it as play acting, where they kind of say like they're being tortured, they can't pray. And I'm operating under the sense that we've all seen the movie, so I am going to be skipping around. But please feel free to offer your thoughts. I mean, that's what we're doing. We're having a discussion here. I mean, I would love to hear what you guys think as well. But I mean, that's what I take it as, is they were play acting, because essentially the entire family, as I see it, they turn against Thomason. I mean, they're the same thing as how the family had been cast out of the community. They turn against Thomason without any proof. And they're all accusing her of being a witch without having any actual proof. No, it's good because it shows your thinking process when you skip around. That's the interesting thing you point, and that's the interesting thing, your point and how you get to it. Okay, no, awesome. Okay, good. So at least I'm not, you don't feel that I'm getting too off track with any of this. When completely scripted, it's too perfect, LOL. Okay, yeah, no, I mean, I just meant to like write down thinking points to make sure I don't leave anything out. But yeah, I mean, I don't like writing scripts or anything. Plus, I don't like how it sounds robotic. I don't like to practice or rehearse or come off as too fakey. But yeah, I mean, I feel that's a similarity between the two things is what do you call it? It draws illusion between those two things. Haha. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you on that. I mean, I'm not one of those types of YouTubers. I mean, I'm not going for, you know, like a professional show. That's not me. I mean, I would love to have that look. It's just it's not who I am. But yeah, I'm absolutely the what else is yeah, the father, you know, he's struggling. He's also trying to raise his son to be a man. You know, they go out hunting. They so they run across this rabbit or this hare who, you know, I don't know if you would agree that the land that they settled in, I mean, it's just bad. It's witch territory, essentially, because we see the witch. She snatched up the unbaptized baby. They use it to make flying ointment, and we see that there's a coven in the area. There's more than one. There's more than one witch. They tempt Thomasin into becoming a witch. Essentially, she's led away from the family because one by one her family gets picked off, and there's no one left to take care of her. I mean, she can't manage the entire farm by herself. All of the animals in the end die. The only one left is Black Phillip, who technically is the devil, so she probably doesn't even have that goat left. She has no money to buy other animals. The chicken gives bad eggs, so she has nothing. So what other choice does she have? Plus, if you look at it, she in the film, the animals were cursed throughout the entire film. The goat gives blood. It has no milk, and you could say, well, the witches cursed it along the way. The witch was in the barn. My dog agrees with me. He doesn't like cursed milk. How do you get butter with bad milk? So, and that's one of the things that she's tempted with is, which is a thing that at the time only wealthy people could afford. I mean, she comes from a family that scraps together whatever she can. Like, they're very modest. And they, as the father says, we come here to conquer this land. And everything just gradually falls apart. Like, they have no crops. The gun backfires in his face when he tries to shoot this witch in disguise, thinking it's actual food. Their dog is slaughtered. They lose their horse, so they have no means of transportation. They have nothing to help them hunt. Their twins are brats, which in some scenes, and it could just be me, they look like evil little people. But there's no food. Your dog wants in the show. Yeah, I think he's trying to play with the other dogs that were babysitting. He's a grouchy old man. Either that or he just doesn't like cursed animal and he also wants to live deliciously. Okay, yeah, he also wants butter and fine clothes and travel the world. Yeah. Haha. Yeah, who doesn't want those things? But so I don't know. Would you agree with me? Like the entire thing was okay, settle down. You either go play or you settle down. I mean, would you say the entire thing was a setup from the beginning to like for this family's downfall? Like they were cast out from the very beginning because they weren't following the church. So that was an immediate setup. Like, either the witches saw it as like, we can break this family down because they've already been outcast from the church. So they get to working on them. We have these twins that are brats and everyone in the family is starving, but why are they so fat? Where are they getting all this food from? And we have these twins saying that they're speaking to this goat who we already know as the devil, or we discover as the devil. And they're always singing and playing with it. They even like dance around and follow him. But they even die in the end. So are they being tempted first, or are they just playing with it because they just think he's fun because he talks to them? Like that's never explained, but it leads to some curiosity. Like, is it just leading the twins in because it's a way to get to Thomason? Like that's never really explained. Like, I don't know. Does anyone have any thoughts on that, or has anyone ever questioned that? Like as far as why the twins get lured in, is it just because they're young, they're easier to manipulate, or is it just a doorway to get to someone better? I mean, that's definitely a curiosity and something very interesting to look into. I mean, at least this time around, I mean, I had always seen it as, they were bratty little kids and they were just playing with the goat. But yeah, it's just, it's something to look at. I mean, because if you think about it, at least from an occult angle, kids are a doorway because they can perceive more. So, they can travel between that door and not necessarily be affected. They can, but not really. Like, even say hypothetically, if you draw that circle for doing a ritual, they're the only ones that can travel in and out without actually affecting anything, whereas an adult has to stay put. Yeah, that was great. It's open to interpretation, allows discussions like this to occur. Yeah, I mean, I think that's a neat thing. And it also does leave that curiosity, like, why are they so chubby? Like, do they have some kind of contract? Like, are they being fed something? The twins is the doorway, I think. I mean, it's possible. And like I said, I mean, they're the only ones that are chubby and they look well fed, other than the dog. I mean, the mom is really gaunt. Like, look at her face. I mean, like her bones show through. The dad's skinny. I mean, like Thomason and Caleb, they're young. They still have their baby fat. They look healthy. But even if you look at their table when they eat, they have like soup, like to stretch their meals. I mean, it's very watery. I mean, they really don't have too much to eat, but you really don't see what's on their plate. You just see that it's some kind of a soup. And the dad's not so great himself. Like he pawns the mom's silver cup because it has worth. He knows it has sentimental value to her, but he sells it because he knows he can get supplies to keep his family afloat. He doesn't even ask her. He doesn't say anything. He just takes it and sells it. His older daughter almost takes the blame for it, and he fishes her out of hot water, saying it'll turn up, leave her alone. But the mom's quick to blame her. Why? Because she's a girl, because she's the eldest, because it's this shiny, pretty thing, so the daughter would immediately like her. She doesn't ask the husband, have you seen my cup? Did you borrow it? Is it misplaced? Nothing. She immediately goes after the daughter. She doesn't ask the twins, did you play with it? Did you forget where you put it? Nothing. She could have asked any number of people. She could, other than just settling on Thomason, she could have moved on to anybody else. No, she settles on the daughter. It's just interesting. Like even at the end of the film, when she decides her daughter's a witch, she hates her. She hates her own daughter. She doesn't. Like the father, even though he's like, well, you're a witch, you have to be away from the family. Even the father's like, well, you're this thing, but I still love you. The mother's like, you're a witch, I'm going to kill you. She strangles her own daughter. Her daughter kills her own mother in self-defense. Her daughter commits a sin against her mother, but her mom attacked her first. So is that technically a sin if you kill someone in defense? Technically they both sinned, so they've both strayed from their faith. Especially from the Puritan point of view. They're so strict. Especially when the daughter's playing, she says, I've had bad thoughts. I played on the Sabbath. I forget what she said the third thing is, but she's confessing to all of these things that we in the modern day consider so innocent, but she's confessing to having been bad. So it's interesting, like how strict in faith they are. So it comes back to, again, it's like, what did she do? Not what did she do, but what did the family do? Like, what did the dad do? Because he's head of the family, to get them exiled or cast out of the church. You should write a book the way you think is inspiring at host your verbose and verbiage, and your intelligence, caring to get your point across, etc., is exemplary. Thank you for saying. I actually do write for the Morbidly Beautiful website. It's been a while since I've published an article, but if you're interested, I do have a portfolio over there. It would be in their About section, and you can find me under Staff Writer. And all you have to do is just click on my image, and it would take you to my portfolio, and you can check out my articles if you're interested. But it'll show you more of what I've written if you want to check out my written reviews. But I have been considering writing a book. But once again, thank you for saying. That's why I find your analysis so refreshing. Thank you. Can you post a link, please? Give me a sec and I can grab that for you. I'm just traveling over there. One moment. So pardon the pause here. Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. Thank you for taking an interest in my other work. It's also in um, my link tree in my socials. I should add that to my description box in my links below, but there you go. Um, and obviously it's in the comments as well if you just want to copy paste that. But it'll take you to my other written articles. I think it goes from newest to oldest. And I believe there are a couple of collaboration ones in there as well, between myself and the editor. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Absolutely. And once again, thank you for taking an interest in my other work. If you're interested in my other creative works, they're also down in the description box. I have my surreal photography on Instagram. I need to get that updated. And then, of course, I have my just random stuff on Twitter. But it's up to you, of course. Let me see. So yeah, that's where I had left off, is just that curiosity, because the family already seems to be devout in their faith. So it really leads me to think, like, how did they stray from the church? I mean, obviously the dad seems to be very stubborn about something, or he's prideful. So it's like, what did he really do to get himself cast out or away from the church? That's really never explained. So that's why I'm kind of like, did he kind of start like preaching away and saying like, no, I believe the word actually means this. The Bible should be taught this way. Whereas I'm not sure what you call it, a Puritan minister. I'm not sure of the phrasing. I don't study Protestantism, but I mean, I imagine in some aspect or degree, he strayed, so that's why they were cast out. But yeah, I mean, Thomason obviously isn't happy living out there. The mom obviously isn't happy. She wants to go back to England. She says so herself. The little boy Caleb is the only one that really doesn't seem to complain. I mean, other than just being a weirdo and checking out his sister from time to time, but she's the only girl that's out there. You should run a panel one day on here, and we can all get popcorn and Coke and review a copyright-free film as we watched. I tried doing that with Sasha. She's over at What Did I Just Watch? I would have to hop over and grab her link. We've been discussing her coming over and doing a film analysis also for Megan. So I'll see when I can get her on the show. And so we did try doing a copyright free film, and for some reason YouTube still shut us down. So I'm not sure how we're going to work that one out. But yeah, we did try that one at one point. The radio shows are also great. There's a certain magic and charm to the old radio shows. I love those. I need to get back to putting a few more up. I enjoyed those. Never heard of her. She's fantastic. She runs a great podcast. Okay, use stills. I can probably do that. That would probably run a lot better. Oh gosh. I just turned on my own show. I'm trying to see if I can find her. Let me see. Yeah, she streams a lot more often. Her show is fantastic. I would also recommend checking her out. If you enjoy what she does, yeah, just let her know I sent you. let me see. There's her link if you want to stop by and check her out, and obviously that's in the comments as well. But next week, I only remember his collaborative channel, but yeah, Sasha and I are discussing. We're talking about doing a collaboration on this channel for Megan, a Megan discussion. That would be sometime in June. We haven't set the date yet, but next week. I can't remember his channel name. I just know his podcast. But we're going to be discussing Cocaine Bear next week. So something a little lighter and a little fun, a little more fun. But yeah, that just brings me back to the main curiosity. Just getting back to this movie, as far as the family, like obviously they're being cast out because of the dad. So, I mean, to me, this whole film revolves around faith. It does touch on the seven deadly sins, is what I gathered from looking at other people's analysis, which is something I had never picked up. Like the dad is prideful, the mom is wrath, the way she reacts towards her daughter. The twins are gluttony. I believe they're also sloth, just because they never work. Gluttony because they're chubby. The son is lust because of the way he looks at his sister. I mean, he shouldn't even be looking at her developing body. He lets that witch in the woods kiss him. And then he later shows up naked. I have no idea what she did to him. That's open to interpretation. For Thomasin herself, I mean, I don't know if that would also be, I forget what sin I'm leaving out. Yeah, dad's, oops. The alarm system just went off. Okay, yeah, I mean, I just muted myself there. Yeah, I mean, that's the way it was back then. But that's also, I think, why he was assigned to pride. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I didn't necessarily see the seven deadly sins in the movie. I'm going to mute temporarily. It's too late in the day. It's probably just the neighbors walking around, probably just doing stuff. Yeah, just to get back to that, I mean, I don't necessarily see the seven deadly sins in this, but yeah, I mean, the film does involve religion heavily. So, I mean, I can see how people can, sorry, draw that into their analyses. So, I mean, I can agree with that to a degree. It's just not necessarily, it's not something I would incorporate as far as the way I see this. It's just, I don't see or find any use in it. I mean, I don't know if you would agree, disagree. Yeah, it's just not something I would use. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, especially the way men would run the household in that day. Yeah, the man, he would have the final word. But that's the interesting thing is the mom seems to have more authority than the dad. It's kind of like the dad is kind of henpecked, like she's she's she has more she's more stern. Like the dad still says stuff, but she's kind of like, I'm not taking any of this crap. And I think it's just, her way of just saying, I don't want to be here. I don't want to deal with this. I never wanted to be cast out from the community. I never wanted to leave England. Like she's just very, she's putting her foot down. I don't want to deal with any of this anymore. I've had it. I lost my baby. I'm dealing with all of this stuff. I don't want anymore. And I that's the way I read Mom. And then it's the final straw when Thomasin is supposedly a witch. The crops are failing. There's no milk. The animals are acting weird. That's just the last straw. So I think she just acts out. She lashes out against Thomas, and I don't think she really means it. I think that's why she just kind of, hey, Trenchy, how are you doing? Glad you made it. But see, I don't really see it as like hate or wrath. Like, I don't think she really dislikes her own daughter. I think that's why she attacks Thomasin. I think that's why she strangles her. I don't think it's really that she hates her daughter. It's just she's fed up with everything going on. So I wouldn't assign wrath to her. That's why I say I don't really think any of this has to do with the 7 deadly sins. Like, I don't see any of this having to do with the film. So I disagree with that entirely. I like how the director takes you there, like time travel, giving you a magnifying glass on life back then in a strange way. Yeah, I mean, I love how it's period accurate. Like he really takes the time to do that, and it doesn't take place in a city like the way it does, like, say, for example, in a small town or a village, the way The Crucible does. Like, they still have the mass hysteria, same way it happens in The Lighthouse, which is why I say it follows that theme. They still act out and they have this same reaction, but it's isolated. It just happens amongst this family with all of these events taking place. And it's just amongst this family that they have this reaction where these witches take advantage of this situation. So that's why I say their faith is being tested. I don't think they're bad people. It's just that they've been cast out, and the witches see this opportunity, and the family still reacts the same way that people in a village would have reacted. It's no different than if it were on a larger scale. It's just more isolated. That's my opinion, at least. Almost can awaken dormant memories or perceived memory if you think past lives is possible. I agree with that. Yeah, I definitely believe in past life memory, things like that. Memory regression, what do you call it? Reincarnation. Yeah, I believe that's totally possible. Absolutely. Why not? I'm good, thanks. How are you? I'm doing all right. Definitely keeping busy, doing well. Thank you for asking. And then, of course, hey, Soul. Hey, Shaman. Black Phillip is one of the best newer horror icons in a while. One of the best parts of the film. I love Black Phillip. He's fantastic. I remember people at the time saying that he was scary. I never really saw him as scary, but yeah, I think he's one of the best characters in the film. I think he's really great. I love everything about him. Maybe memories are in DNA. That's why stuff could seem so familiar. I believe in the concept of blood memory, if that makes any sense. Kind of like the same way whenever people have family and they're separated, they still have same characteristics, even though they're raised away or apart from one another, and then they reunite. And then they realize, hey, I have these same habits that you have, but I didn't learn them from being around you. I think, yeah, it's totally possible to have the same habits that you had in a past life. So yeah, absolutely. Why not? But yeah, I mean, at least those are my thoughts on this film. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, at least that's why I feel the family was tested. It's just because they had been isolated. It was a great opportunity. But I think at least in the degree, it's just because Thomason was coming of age. She was becoming a woman. Like they wanted to put her into servitude. That's perhaps why the family was interested in her and converting her into a witch. I don't know if you would agree that's why the family was kind of like slowly being broken down, or they just saw this opportunity like, hey, let's see if we can get this girl. Or if it's just basically all about like taking souls, like let's see who we can get to. Like let's just see who we can get. Like even the mom, like even after Caleb died, like his form, you could tell it wasn't him, but his form appeared with the baby, and you could tell it wasn't him. Like it was a different voice, and it said, "Would you like us to visit you more often?" or something like that. We have this book for you to look at. And she's like, yeah, in a minute, I just want to see you. Well, the goat also links the goat to the goat of Mendes also. I hadn't considered that, but yeah. I'm not really familiar. If you wouldn't mind elaborating, please, I would like to learn more about that. Especially because it's not something I'm familiar with. I would like to learn about that so I could at least have a more formed or educated thought on that. Makes that connection. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they wanted the mom to sign the book so that they could gain her soul, but how Caleb was saying that she becomes a hare, a crow. I forget what other form they say that the witch takes, but the crow winds up pecking at the mother's breast. So they wanted the soul, but a witch winds up feeding upon the mother. She doesn't die, but she wakes up the next morning, and we have confirmation that this happened because her shift or her nightshirt is bloody. And you can tell that she's upset. She's not traumatized, but she's upset over what happened. The father, oblivious to what happened, just climbs over her, and he just begins his day like nothing. Well, obviously he begins his day like nothing. He doesn't know what happened. And then of course that's just as they say, when the pudding just hits the fan. Well, they say the crow is an omen to carry info from the other world. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. But I was just caught on how Caleb was also saying that the witch is a shapeshifter. But yeah, I get that. The crow's a messenger. But yeah, the mom had been attacked in exchange. So I imagine she refused to sign the book is why she had been attacked. But that's open to interpretation, which is one of the great things about this film is there's a lot of open space. So you can definitely to a degree make up your own story. Like, well, I think this, I think that. And like in this situation, it makes for great discussion. Like It's kind of like, let's all sit down and have a coffee. Let's all sit down and have Saturday brunch. I'll have the scones and tea. What do you think about this scene? um, but yeah, do you have any thoughts to add? I know I've been rattling off, but I would love to get different perspective on this. These are just like my main thoughts. Or do you feel like I left anything out that you would like to add or consider? I know I left out a lot of witch stuff, or like even the barn, like oh, really quick here. A carrier transmitter of information from the gods and goddesses. Yeah, where did the twin get the prior info from the word shape shifter from? Well, that was that the twins, or was that Caleb? Because I know Caleb came back like when he was attacked by the beautiful witch slash shapeshifter. Like, I know he was, the beautiful woman in the woods. She kissed him, and then he came back all nude. And yeah, maybe the goat. Yeah, I know they were talking to the goat, and they were hanging around him a lot. Which is why I was saying, like, were the twins acting as the go-between between the goat? Like, was he kind of like toying or playing with them, or were the twins just kind of like that go-between to get to the rest of the family? That still seems like a word that doesn't fit that time and space. Maybe, possibly. I have to rewatch the movie, but I remember really enjoying it. Yeah, it's good. I think it's very good. Like, it leaves you with a lot to think about, and I like how it doesn't like really explain everything the way like we're used to most movies. Like, obviously it's an independent film, so I like how it really does leave that space for interpretation there. And that's why I say, kind of like, to a degree, you make up your own movie, and every time you rewatch it, which I think he hopped out for a bit. I'm not sure if he's back, but Slipknot fan. Like, there's always something new to view and think about every single time you rewatch the movie. But yeah, I think it's fantastic. It has that rewatchability value, and that's what I really enjoy about these types of films. Like, I think that was a trend in the early 2010s. I could be wrong. I think these types of filmmakers, they're not as heavy as right now. Like, for example, Tusk, Under the Skin. Who else was making this type of film back then? Those are the first two that come to mind. But I think you get the idea. But I love that type of movie. Yeah, the barn scene is definitely something I left out that I wanted to mention. Is like, okay, so if we have Black Phillip, who apparently the twins have been consorting with as in the form of the devil, and then we have let's see, and considering how meticulous the director was at authenticity, the part don't make sense. So the only way I can make it fit, is the goat, gods, goddesses, etc. Use the goat as the medium between worlds. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, there always has to be some form of communication. Like, I agree with you. Yeah, that makes absolute sense. There always has to be some form. Like, even there was the old idea of using mirrors as communication. Some kind of a doorway. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, you brought up the masterpiece Tusk. I love that one. Yeah, that's great. I think they were talking about doing a sequel. I have no idea how that's going to work out. I don't think a sequel is necessary, so I'm thinking, please don't mess it up. But yeah, the barn. That's my curiosity. Why would the dad go and do something like crazy like that? So the twins are. Yeah, thanks for agreement. It's okay to disagree. That's what makes great debate. Yeah, I mean, as far as the goat, I wasn't disagreeing with you. I mean, it makes sense that the goat was being used, um, especially because towards the end, where Thomason is signing the contract and he's speaking with her. I mean, we have the form of a man, but he does have hooves. Which implies either shape shifting or, yeah, as you say, the form of communication was Black Phillip. But yeah, I mean, I do have that curiosity as well, in which, yeah, I love this film. It leaves a lot to think about. And I know I keep repeating that over and over. But the barn, right before the slaughter, of course, which also leaves a lot of questions, is I'm going to mispronounce this. Yoga Hosers, I heard, was a sequel to Tusk. I haven't seen it. I haven't heard anything about that. But yeah, I know I'm looping now. Why would the dad go and do something, in my opinion, crazy like that, as far as locking everybody up, Thomason, even the twins who have not been accused? We're wrapping up. I don't know if you want to hang around or come back in just a few. We're right at the end of the movie. So it's up to you. If you don't want the ending spoiled, you might want to give us just a little bit more. Sorry, I'm not sure what WB means. I'm not too up on the abbreviations. I'm sorry. But yeah, okay, I will come back in 10 minutes. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, okay, so the twins have been consorting, so that would make, welcome back. I'm sorry. Yeah, like I said, I'm just not too up on that. Yeah, the witch is complex, but it does it in a way where it doesn't come off as pretentious. It gets you wanting to revisit it. I agree with that. Like, it's not one of those movies where it's snooty and you walk away thinking, well, I feel like I'm a total dodo and I feel like I was talked down to and I don't understand that movie. No, that's one of the things why it's so rewatchable, and I love this one. So that's the only thing I can think of, is like, in the dad's eyes, like, are all the kids guilty except maybe Caleb and the baby? But apparently, according to dad, it's for God to decide whether or not the baby went to hell or not, because he was not baptized, which is maybe the parents' fault. That's a different discussion too. But so everyone gets locked up with Philip, and I don't know what the point in that was. Like, if they survive the night, you're guilty or not guilty. Like, is that the same as throwing somebody in a river, and if you sink, you're not a witch, but if you float, you are, but you die anyway? That one doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, what was the point of dad locking everybody up with Philip? And then, of course, they all have their own private conversation in there, but we still don't know what happened. Like, all the remaining goats get slaughtered, the twins get slaughtered. Why does Thomason get to survive? That's what's great about it. You can take what you need on one watching, but that's only scratching the surface. It's a bit like Back to the Future. The more you watch, the more in depth it gets. Yes, I agree with you on that one. But that's my only remaining curiosity. Like I've already touched on everything that I really wanted to get to. Um, I mean, I don't know if any of you wanted to mention anything that I may have forgotten, or anything that you wanted to touch on, or um, yeah, I mean, I know Slipknot just missed us by a hair, or if you're just ready to get to the chit chat, or if you just had just a couple of more things to add to the witch discussion. It's up to you guys. I mean, basically right now the floor is open. I mean, I already got to everything I wanted to mention about this film. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I love the campfire scene. It's pretty trippy and mesmerizing at the same time, very creepy, but also cool. Yeah, that one is awesome. Um, yeah, I like how she just walks in and she totally just accepts it. Like she has no problem with stripping her clothes and walking naked, but at the time, like people were very modest. My bad. I think I'm on a delay. No, you're all right. I actually just paused and didn't say anything for a few minutes, so I think you're all right. I was just waiting for somebody to respond. So no, you're not on a delay. Um, I was just waiting for someone to add something if they wanted to say something, or I don't know if you guys just wanted to have like that casual chit chat. I know Slipknot was wanting to come back and have a chit chat, and he just missed us by a hair. So he said he would come back in about 10 minutes. Yeah, I know he wanted to do the casual chit chat. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are done talking about the movie, I mean, I already brought up everything that I was curious about, or wanted to discuss, unless any of you wanted to bring up anything else, that any talking points that you wanted to mention. And that's what I like about these live streams, is I definitely get a lot more talking space than I get in the videos, like in the regular videos. Okay, gotcha, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I know Trenchy brought up the fire scene. So and that's another thing, like it makes me wonder, like, were the witches like already set up? Like, was this her coming out party? Or do they do this every night? Like, do they like do they always have to like have do they always do like their fire prancing, or was this one of their sabbats? Was this like a special night when Thomason was initiated? I'm okay with moving on if everyone else is. I'm all right. It's nice to converse with you. Allows freedom of thought on a mind forever voyaging. Yeah, yeah, I'm totally cool to move on. I mean, that's why I like to allow the open space. Yeah. Now I'm stuck on. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had for this one. Like I said, I'm just puppy sitting for the weekend. They're all sleeping right now, which is why they're finally quiet. Where we can bounce ideas and concepts off each other. Yeah, it's always great. We can definitely do more movie discussions like this if you guys like. I also do the casual videos as well, where we just do like just the chit chatty ones. We can definitely get back to the watch-alongs if you like. I mean, I'm definitely open to variety. I know someone had mentioned they wanted to do a discussion on the Devils, and then there was another one someone had requested. I forget which movie it was. But I did want to do Cocaine Bear next week. I think that one would be fun. Just kind of get out of the heavy movies for a little bit and do something fun. I think that one would be nice. Let me see. But yeah, I don't really, at least right now, I don't have anything planned for my weekend. I'm just puppy sitting. So I have, let me see. I haven't seen that. It's supposed to be a comedy that's based on actual events where there was a cocaine run and a packet had gotten lost and a bear gets a hold of it. So he just goes on this rampage where he's all coked up. The bear one? Do you mean like that old one with the little bear cub? Have you seen The Pope's Exorcist yet? I want to. I haven't seen the. Well, I don't like the rental price. There's definitely a couple of other ones I'm interested in renting, like either Pearl or The Men. Someone suggested I believe it's The Menu. So I'd probably do one of those first, but I'm very keen on The Pope's Exorcist. I saw the trailer for that, and I'm more intrigued because Russell Crowe did that one, and I'm like, wow, I never expected him to do one of these types of movies. So I'm like, the script was probably really good, which is probably why he accepted the role. He usually chooses really good movies. Yeah. But yeah, what else did I want to watch? I know someone had given me a list of movies, and like I say, I always like to, at least on Twitter, I like to give credit to people that recommend movies, because I like to do tweet-alongs, like little commentaries as I'm watching movies. Oh yeah, The Gladiator, that one's great. I'm surprised I don't have a copy of that one. That one's fantastic. Maximus. That one's fantastic. I forget. It was, I think, his breakout role, the one he did with Meg Ryan, where he was like her bodyguard. That one wasn't. No. He also did a movie, The Quick and the Dead with Sharon Stone. That one was a good one too. That's where I know him from, but why he did a movie with Meg Ryan, I don't know. That one wasn't that great. Have you ever seen? Yeah, was that the one with Viggo Mortensen? There was an English woman in it. I forget her name. It was kind of like this weird drama film. There was also like some greaser guys that would go around like killing people. The Reflecting Skin from the 90s. It would be interesting to hear your thoughts on that film, but no rush on or obligation. Is that the one that you're asking about? Never heard of that one, Soul. Gladiator is good. Joaquin Phoenix owns that movie. Yeah, it's fantastic. I forget the lady's movie. She was also, I think she was the same woman that played the wife in 300. Yeah, Vigo. I did a podcast on that one a couple of weeks ago with Mark Kazawak from the Spoiler Room. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. I mean, we can definitely redo it here if you want. It's interesting, yeah. I think, let me see if I can find it. If you want to listen to the thoughts there, I had posted it on my Twitter also. But yeah, I guest on that panel from time to time also. Where did it go? There's just a quick pause. Sorry about that. I'm looking for it. I just want to see if I can find it. But are you guys enjoying these? I found it. Are you guys enjoying these discussion videos? Like, would you like me to keep up with these? I can definitely do more, and I'm open to suggestions like Trenchy just gave. And I can definitely redo this one over here. Okay, yeah. Oh, I'll have to watch that. Yeah, I just found it. So, let's see. So I just put this one in the comments if you want to copy paste. But yeah, there's 3 of us in the chat. So that one's for the Spoiler Room podcast. I guest over there from time to can't talk now. I guest over there from time to time, and I also post those podcasts over in the in my Twitter. Yeah, the last one that we did was Under the Skin, but yeah, those are pretty fun. If you want to check that one out, but I can redo it over here if you like, and I can give just kind of like just my thoughts. But yeah, yeah, if you like these discussions, I can keep up with them for sure. Yeah, that one was a lot of fun to do. So many great movies out there, not enough time. I can remember back in the day, the video rental shop done a mid-deal week. Yeah, where you rent one, you get one free. Well, I ended up with 6 to watch in a night. Yeah, I remember I used to do that. Yeah, my video shop. They used to do like deal nights where I think you would rent X amount, same thing, and you would get a certain price. Those were always fun. And it was for a certain genre, like a certain every night was a different genre. And if you didn't want like that type of movie, you would just pay the regular price. Yeah, my first time speaking to you directly, loving it. Okay, awesome. For some reason, I remember your name. I think we've chatted before, but okay. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm glad you made it. I'm enjoying our conversation. Awesome. Back. Okay, yeah, you missed us by just a hair when you checked out. We came back to the regular chat, but okay, awesome. Glad to have you back. We're just talking movies in general now. Yay, I know the abbreviation now. I learned something new. Cool. Okay, London here, by the way. So let me see. It's 3:22, so I believe it's like 6 o'clock your time if I remember correctly. I think you're like 6 hours ahead of me. Is that correct? Did anyone see Renfield? I want to watch that one. I love Nicolas Cage movies. He's like one of those crazy actors that's not afraid to go there. I love him. He's like that would be like one of those movies where I'd like to have a special night, and I would order like like I would order in a meal from like a nice restaurant and have a glass of wine, and I would make it like an evening of it just to watch that movie. I would love to do that. See, maybe I would actually, maybe I might actually break the piggy bank and rent that movie. That would be fun. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you did mention. Yeah, I'm English too. I commented in depth on movie responses. I want to say I remember you on the was it on the V conversation for the movie review for V, or I want to say it was the Exorcist, the radio play. LOL. 21.33. Oh, okay. Let me see. Military time. So like 8 o'clock, I believe, if I'm converting that correctly. Okay. Okay, Renfield has some awesome Dracula moments. I forget that other Necro one. I forget that other Dracula movie that's coming out, the one that takes place on the ship. I think Marty, Trash Picture Show, had shown me the trailer for that. Like, I generally don't watch movie trailers. He shoots me stuff from time to time, which is why I know about movies. And I was very keen on that one. He had also shown me the one from the makers of what's that Christmas movie? The one with that crazy giant Santa. It's this guy. He's like a miner, and he like takes out the entire army. It's a foreign film, but I'm very keen on those two. It's just like a one-word title. I just can't remember the name of it right now. I saw Renfield 5 days ago. Okay, I was off. 9:24. Yeah, I mean, I used to be able to do military time. I was part of a military program in my high school, where you do pre-training if you want to go off into the military, which is something I had considered. I actually would have gone in earning a higher salary because I would have had that pre-training, and I decided against it last minute because I wanted to go to college instead. I think Renfield was on its third week in theaters here, probably the last week it will be shown. So I had to see it before it left theaters. Okay, cool. I do theater from home because I don't own a vehicle, so it's more economic for me because I would have to hire a driver, and then I would have to pay the cost of the film, and then to whatever snack that I buy. And then, of course, the ride back. The Last Voyage of the Meridian. Did I read that right? Meriden? Yes, that's the one. Yes. Rare Exports. Thank you. It was from the same guy that did Rare Exports. But yes, I'm very keen on these two movies. It was from the same makers of Rare Exports. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a one-word title. But do you Demeter? Yes, The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Thank you. I just can't remember those. If it's modern film, I'm not too good with titles. Like I'm better with older movies. Yes, thank you so much. The Demeter, I'm very keen on watching that one. And then yes, Marty had shown me I can't remember this title, but it's from the makers of Rare Exports. It starts with a U. I know that. And in the trailer, he's like a gold miner, and this army wants to take away his booty, like not his butt, but like his findings. And obviously he's fighting to keep it, and like he takes out the entire, like that entire platoon because he refuses to give up what he has. Yeah, looking forward to that movie. Oh yeah, that one's complex. I even read the book, and the book is way different from the movie. Like the book even leaves you thinking, like, is it a delusion? Is it real? The book even touches on cannibalism. It's crazier than the film. That would be awesome to do. That I would love to do. That one would be awesome to do as a collab if I could get Vicky to do it with me. She loves to read books. I don't know, like, do you guys like the idea of collabs? Like, I like the idea of, like, having different perspectives. I'd love to hear your take on American Psycho. When it came out, got norm reviews, but over time, people have rewatched, looked back, and now regard it as a classic. Yeah, I can see that. Absolutely. Um, oh, I missed somebody, sorry. Rare Exports is good. That kid had great one-liners. I haven't rewatched that one in a long while. I know I reviewed Rare Exports and then the short film that it had been based on. I love American Psycho. That film's fantastic. Yeah, the first time I watched it, I was like, what the F is that? um, yeah, that's a fantastic film. Lots and lots of discussion points. Absolutely. It really is. Lots of discussion points in that movie. It yeah, same thing as The Witch. Like there's tons to talk about. Yeah, haha, Kara at what the F. Yeah, it really is. Same thing with the book. Like I have the audiobook. Um it's like one of those things that I liked listening to when I would go on walks with my dog. And sometimes I would just like stop mid pace and I was like, what? Did I just hear that right? I would like stop and play it back. And I'm like, yes, I just heard that. Whoa. um, yeah, the book is way crazier than the movie. Yeah, like if you enjoy books, audiobooks, whatever, I would, I mean, I don't, yeah, I'm not promoting it, but I would really, really encourage you to give that a listen. It's great. Um, yeah, what else? Yeah, that's like one of the craziest things book wise that I've ever read. Yeah, I can definitely do that one. Reflecting Skin's a good one. It also leaves a lot of talking points. Yeah, Trenchy loves those crazy weird movies. Gummo's another fun one. That's I mean, like the first time I saw that one, I'm not going to lie, I had been smoking, so I was like trying to make sense of it. So I was looking at it more like, whoa. This confession has meant nothing. I haven't heard of that one. Um, that's one I haven't heard of at all. I gotta see Gummo. You would love that one, especially if you like those Bizarro films. I think it's one of Harmony Korine's best films. And then if you like that one, I would say double feature it with Julian Donkey Boy. Um, like his early films are ones that I really like. If you have pen and paper, I would say watch Gummo, Julian Donkey Boy, and then Trash Humpers. Like he's an experimental director, and then when he went mainstream, he did Spring Breakers. I haven't seen that one. I've been avoiding it, but I heard it's good, so I might watch that one. I think it's on Amazon Prime. So I might watch that one. But I would say yes, go for Gummo. That one's good. But yeah, Harmony Korine is like one of those directors that I follow. His early stuff was experimental. It's good. I like it. Oh, the final line from American Psycho. I don't remember. Like I just know he would dare people to catch him. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. This confession has meant nothing. That's the last line of dialogue from American Psycho. Okay. I haven't seen it in a long while. I go through like long gaps of watching movies because I always like that sense of like it feels like watching it again for the first time. But since I've seen it, I have that new or different perspective. Same thing with rewatching The Witch this last time. I hadn't seen it since it was first out. So sorry if it came off as like, oh, you sound silly. No, my bad. No, I'm sorry about that. He felt such relief where he didn't have any more pretense and be his natural self. Yeah, I can see that. That I can relate to. Yeah, I have a few of his movies downloaded. Okay, for Harmony Korine? Yeah, I only own one of his. I only have a copy of Gummo. Um, yeah, but I think, yeah, I think his movies are great. At least the early stuff. Those are just kind of movies you can just sit around and just kind of be like, just chill out and just kind of zone out to and just relax for a bit. Yeah, Spring Breakers is a fun James Franco as Alien is a trip. Okay, so if you recommend that, I'll take a look. It's just I was hesitant because it to me it felt like, oh, this is his first mainstream film. I'm like, you sold out, so I felt betrayed. But yeah, I've been told by a Harmony Korine fan, it's like, no, you have to watch it. It's good. So it's kind of like when John Waters went mainstream. It's like I watched it and it's like it's still John Waters. It's just not as intense. So yeah, I'll give it a chance if I can find it. I think it's on Amazon Prime. So I'll probably I don't think I can watch it while I'm painting. It's I usually do that to movies I've already seen. I can tell you really need to rewatch American Psycho. Yeah, yeah, it's been a while. I think the last time I watched it was 3 years ago. So yeah, I can definitely do that one. I would like to see if I can get Marty on, since he kept wanting me to watch The Devils. So I want to see if I can get him on and we can do a discussion on The Devils. It would be cool if I can get Marty and Jen. Jen is so much fun. Yeah, I love Jen. Let me see. Oh yeah, and then let me see. I know there was another movie you guys had asked me to do. It was The Devils, and then I think I might have to go back and look at the comments on that screen, but I just can't remember what it was called. But yeah, as far as the channel, I have a couple of other vlogs that I want to get edited and uploaded. Hopefully, you guys aren't getting too yes. What was his freaking name? Jared Leto. Bateman yells, "Hey, Paul," at Paul Allen before axing him in the face. What was it? Huey Lewis in the news. Yeah, see, I'm totally, I feel out of the loop. You're right. I do need to rewatch it. Yes, I need to rewatch it. I'm bad at quotables. Like even Pulp Fiction, like I love that scene. Yeah, many quotable pieces from of dialogue from American Psycho. See, I would have to like write them down and learn them. It's just I'm not good at quoting lines. Same thing, like I said with Pulp Fiction, that has a lot of good lines. But yeah, like I like that scene where they bring I can't, was it Mia? She has that overdose where she snorts the heroin, and they bring her to the drug dealer's house. I can't remember his name. And I love Rosanna Arquette's character right when they they stab through the breastplate and they give her the adrenaline to like to bring her back. And she's just there in her robe, and she has her messy hair, and she has all of her piercings, and she's like, that was so cool. Like, that's just her line. And I just love that about the character. It's just like so simple. And like every time I'm wearing my robe, I just say to myself, I like to Rosanna. That's just like one of my things, because I already have my piercings, and I'm like, I just walk around all messy in my robe, and I'm like, I feel like Rosanna Arquette today. I can quote a few sentences, but whole paragraphs of dialogue is tough. Yeah. Whenever I try to quote, I just totally fudge the whole thing. Like, even from Batman, what is it? Ever dance with the devil by the pale light of the moon, or pale moonlight? It's like, I can't do that without messing it up. And it's just such a cool line. Arguing who's going to administer. Yeah. Arguing who's going to administer to the narco jab. LOL. Yeah. Like, even, what is it? He's asking, do you have a felt tip pen? And he's like, what? A marker. Do you have a marker? Yeah, I love Pulp Fiction. That's fantastic. I love that one. I remember watching that for the first time and thinking to myself, who is this? Because I was very into writing back then, and I'm like, this is awesome. Yes, Eric Stoltz. Yes, the character, the drug dealer. Eric Stoltz is great. I love him. I still haven't watched him in Killing Zoe. That one looks like a fun watch. And the only reason I would want to watch that is because of Eric Stoltz. He was also in that, what was it, that college movie with, I've seen it several times. I hate it when I can't remember. The title sounds like a romance movie, but it's all about drugs. Who is this? I don't know you. Prank caller. Yeah. When he's because he's what is it? The whole phone tapped and wired and all that stuff. He's like, get out of here. I'm trying to Google that other movie title. The Rules of Attraction, or The Laws of Attraction. Have you guys seen that one? It's like a college movie. It's based on a book. Eric Stoltz plays a college professor that basically gives his students passing grades in exchange for blowjobs. Jessica Biel's in it. That dude from Dawson's Creek is in it. Like, it's this crazy movie about college kids on drugs. Let me go. I'm still trying to Google it. You see, I think it's called The Rules of Attraction. It's early 2000s. Yeah, James Van Der Beek. 2002, The Rules of Attraction. At the time, it had like a lot of up and coming people. Let's see, Kate Bosworth is in it. I'm trying to remember the name of that. She was really popular at the time, and then she disappeared. Shannon Sossaman, she was fantastic. She was the main character in that one. Yeah, that one's a fun one. Like, it's like one of those crazy films. If you're like into that, I would recommend checking that one out. The Rules of Attraction, 2002. And it's also based on a book. I've never read it. For some reason, the commentary was by Carrot Top. It sucked. Yeah, he was on the phone to Vincent Vega. Yeah, I do remember that scene. I have seen The Rules of Attraction. Yeah, James Van Der Beek was Bateman's brother. He even makes a phone call to Patrick Bateman. Yeah, that movie was a lot of fun. see, I'm trying to adjust. I've been sitting in a position for too long and I'm hurting. So pardon the grunting here. I'm trying to move and not drop my laptop at the same time. I know someone commented on that last time. Okay. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I had to move. I've been like that for like an hour. Okay. Yes. His name is Sean Bateman. Yeah, that movie is really good. And then right until the end, you never discover who the girl is. You discover who the girl is that has the crush that's been writing the letters. But all the time he thinks it's Shannon Sossamon's character, and she likes him too. But yeah, it's just that girl that no one thinks of. And then she just has that tragic ending. I won't ruin it for anyone who hasn't seen it that wants to watch it. But yeah, I would recommend checking it out if you're interested. It's a good movie. But yeah, I will warn you, it does have a sad scene. Like, it's a downer, but the movie's good. I loved a movie by David Cronenberg, Existence. Was a thought-provoking movie. I've never watched that one. I've heard the title. I didn't know it was him, but but I've never seen it. I think it's a 90s film. Trippy as LOL. I've never seen that one. I don't even know the story. I think it's like, I can't even guess. I'm going to ruin it if I do. Existence. '99. I'm Googling it really quick. A game designer on the run from assassins must play her latest virtual reality creation with a marketing trainee to determine if the game has been damaged. How does the biohorror play into that? Yeah, released in '99. Yeah, I just Googled it really quick. How does the biohorror play into that? Because I know Cronenberg always has some biohorror element. I mean, I just read the brief synopsis. Yeah, I remember this was '99, such new concepts at the time. It kind of sounds like, well, maybe not, like, I don't know if it's like some virtual reality thing. It kind of, watch the trailer later. Yeah, it kind of makes me think of like full moons, like arcade, or I don't know if I'm just like getting ahead of myself, like where people would travel inside of the game. Oops. Yeah, there were a lot of, well, I guess there were a lot of tech-based, oh, it's good, trust me. Yeah, I like Cronenberg. I don't think I've seen too many of his 90s stuff. I kind of stuck to his classic, like I've seen Shivers, I've seen Rabid, Keeps You Guessing. Okay, yeah, I'll check that one out. Let me see. What else have I seen? I love The Breed. What else have I seen? Scanners. I think everyone has seen Scanners. I've even seen the sequels. The second sequel's not bad. I know it's not his. The third one's kind of like, but I own all three. The Breed PC game was good also. I never got into PC gaming. Yeah, it's not. I mean, after the first, yeah, Scanners was good. 2 and 3, yeah, 2 and 3 were just kind of like branch offs by someone else. But yeah, I do own all three of them. I believe I don't. The first one was put out, I want to say, by Criterion, and then 2 and 3 was Shout Factory. Back when I was like heavy into collecting stuff. Yeah. And then of course now I'm at the point to where I'm trying to thin out my collection. Let's see. What other Cronenberg film have I seen? Videodrome I like. I forget the line. I was about to say it's something to the new flesh. What else? I can't remember what other Cronenberg films I've seen. Now I have to go to the IMDb again and cheat. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen The Fly. I like that one. Dead Ringers I watched recently. I like Crash. Where's his? 5'9". He's roughly about my height. He's 2 inches taller than me. Director. I didn't know he was also an actor. Let's see. I think somebody reminded me he did History of Violence. I haven't seen that one in a long time. There's still a fair chunk of his movies I haven't seen. I forgot he did Dead Zone. I like that one. I didn't know he did Nightbreed. I think that's his. I think it's showing me movies he hasn't done also. I think the movie The Entity is so underrated. That was a fantastic movie. It's funny, I was thinking about that one the other day. Even more weird, I was thinking about that one in the shower, especially considering what happens to that poor woman in the movie. Okay, yeah, he did Nightbreed. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, yeah, I didn't know he did that one. I like that one. Recently, I saw some clips of a show called Rise of Empires Ottoman about, about Vlad Tepes. I always mispronounce his last name. Vlad Tepes III, Dracula, warning with the Ottoman Empire. It's very brutal and gory. The guy playing Vlad is brilliant. I haven't heard about that one. I thought there were only 2 Vlads. Because there's Vlad the Impaler, which I'm familiar with, and then there's Vlad the Monk, which were both named after their father. Okay, yeah, Vlad was the father as well. You're right. No, you're right. There are 3 Vlads. No, I haven't heard of this one, Rise of the Empires. I have to screenshot that and look for it. No, I haven't heard of that one. That one actually looks worth checking out. Last time I had watched, I think it was the Pacific Isles. It's a, David Attenborough animal documentary series on Prime Video, and I was doing that while I was video editing. I missed big chunks of it because I was more focused on editing. OMFG. Okay, fine. I've been mispronouncing it my entire life. Pronounced Tepesh, I think. Okay, well, I didn't know. We'll see if I remember. If so, then I'm better for it. Thank you. Nightbreed is fantastic. My favorite 90s horror. Yeah, I love Nightbreed. I remember watching that one in theater. It scared the snot out of me when I was a kid. Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. I think the third one was the one with Damien as an adult, Sam Neill. The original Omen 1, 2, and 3 were the best, and Poltergeist 1, 2, 3 were amazing also. I forget too. Was that the one where they do the backstory with the people? They're kind of like in that cavern. 3 was the one that takes place in the high rise. Poltergeist is good. I don't remember the second one for the Omen. I'm getting my movies confused. Sorry. Yeah, for the Omen, I don't remember the second one. For the Omen, wasn't there a fourth one? I think it was a TV movie about a little girl. You pronounced it well this time. Okay, well, I never knew it was pronounced Depeche. No, I've been saying it wrong all this time and didn't know it. Yes, Sam O'Neill. Yeah, I watched. I finally got around to it because it was playing on Joe Bob last night. I missed the first movie because puppy sitting, so I was traveling out to the house. That's where I'm at right now. I'm not home. But I was traveling out to where I'm doing the puppy sitting. So I finally got to watch Possession for the first time. I enjoyed it. That was fantastic. I'd been meaning to watch it forever and ever. Didn't get to watch the first movie on the show, but no big deal. I can go back and watch the playback. I'm glad they have the director's cut out. It makes, yes, I have the copy of the director's cut, and I even have the, what do I have? I have the film score on vinyl. I like to collect film scores. The only recent ones that I bought, because I had taken a break from buying film scores, I got the one for Megan because I liked that one. I have an unboxing for some vinyl that I had gotten. So I think I took like a 3 to 4 year break from buying some. They are so heavy to haul around. And like I said, I'm semi-nomadic, so it's heavy hauling stuff. I gotta see Poltergeist 3. Yeah, I think that's the one in the high rise, if I remember correctly. I don't remember if I own all 3. I know I have the first one for sure. Maybe I'll watch that one when I'm painting on Sunday. I can at least watch stuff I've seen before. Maybe I'll watch the remake. It's not that great. I remember liking it. I don't know. I'll have to give it a rewatch. I don't remember if I would like it, but I remember thinking it's not that bad. Omen 1, Born Omen 2 is where he was in the military college and had helpers, and Omen 3 was adult Sam O'Neill play. Yeah, I remember 3. It was weird to me that he managed to turn a pack of beagles evil because they're so friendly. Yeah, I've been around beagles for a long time. That's actually what I'm puppy sitting right now. I've got 4 beagles in my charge and 1 rat terrier mix. I don't remember the second one. I do have a set of The Omen. Maybe it's about time I crack that open. I have so many movies in my collection I haven't watched. So maybe that's what I should do, is just dedicate my time to reviewing all the movies in my collection that I haven't watched. Yeah, the lady in possession had a real nervous breakdown after that movie. I heard about that. I don't know if I remember correctly, but I love is Isabel. I can't remember her last name right now. She also did Nosferatu. Yeah, that was very demanding. She had to do a lot in that one. That subway scene, wow. Yeah, Sam O'Neill was in that. Yeah, that's why I was remembering him. He was great. Yeah, from what Joe Bob was saying, that movie demanded a lot of both of them. And they were both so young in that. Wow. Yeah, on the bed. Oh my God. Oh yeah, that creature thing. Let me see. Yeah, I had been wanting to watch that forever, and I had even heard some people say like, "Oh no, that movie's too much. It's disgusting. I would never watch it." I'm like, it didn't seem that bad. Like I've even heard, "Oh no, the woman in that movie was like so abused. I would never support that, yada yada." I'm like, yeah, the mental scenes were like, yeah, a bit much. Yeah, the creature thing. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just I have like I don't have like a super high tolerance. Like so far I've only seen one movie where it was like never would I watch that again, but this one didn't seem that bad. Like I don't know if I would ever watch it again, but I enjoyed it. It was a good watch. The story was kind of like it would be one of those I'd have to watch it multiple times to really know what I think of it. Another thing I learned is I know I'm going to slaughter the pronunciation. I'm not going to try. Is said and spelled as a Vahalahia in Romanian. Oh, you guys are going to make fun of me for that one. But thank you for breaking that one down this time. Yeah, I enjoyed Possession. I blind watched it, so I really didn't know what it was about. So I liked so that's from the documentary. But Possession, I liked going into it not really knowing what to expect or knowing what it really was, which is why I like to blind watch stuff. But yeah, Vlad, I was interested in him for a while because, of course, vampire folklore. So, but the history behind the family, I think, is complex. I really didn't get it, at least when I was younger, trying to understand it. Yeah, I bet that angered a lot of women. I mean, I didn't really see it as she was being mistreated, other than the scene where she got slapped. I mean, she was doing a lot of that voluntarily, which I mean, that part didn't make sense to me. I mean, she cheated on her husband for a year, and then I don't know how she came up about this part, because obviously she was at least in my opinion, she was an ordinary everyday woman, and then there was this supernatural element where she obviously came upon some being where she was trying to create the perfect man, which wound up being a double of her own husband. So she fell out of love with her husband, but she was creating a double of him. And the school teacher was also a double of her. She had just different hair and different eyes. I mean, I don't know if that was just to be interpreted that way or if they were just actually different. I mean, that was curious. There's an amazing game called Vampire the Masquerade. Look for a play through on YouTube. I've heard of that one. It's a PC role-playing game, I believe. Yeah, I have heard of that one. It's I believe from the mid 90s. There were several versions of it out. Covers everything vampire related. I'm sure you would enjoy it. Treat a YouTube playthrough as a movie. Huh. Well, that would be neat. Yeah, it's interesting to read about the real person who inspired Bram Stoker's Dracula. Goes into very deep law of the vampire. The different bloodlines and what they can do. Yeah, vampire lore is very, very interesting, especially the different types of vampire, like different breeds and abilities. Yes, the PC role-playing game. I have heard of that game. Yes, correct. Isn't there a board game version? That one, I'm not too sure. I believe at one point, Facebook also had a vampire role-play game, but you could only play for like X amount of time. And then you had to come back like within time intervals in order to be able to play, and then like just attack random people, and then people would also attack you while you were away. It was weird. I don't think it's around anymore. You have a DM? That I would not know. I don't think YouTube does DMs anymore. The best way to get a hold of me is usually through my socials, which are the Instagram and the Twitter. Those I'm better at answering. You've seen videos of people portraying the vampire characters in live. I'm sorry, I've read it wrong. I've seen videos of people portraying the vampire characters in live action. Okay, so like LARPing, as they say. Hmm. Ha! My bad. See, I don't understand the abbreviations. It's not something that I'm too up on. DM as in Dungeon Master for the original White Wolf board game of Vampire the Masquerade. Yeah, I mean, I understood that later. It's just I don't know the I'm not too good with the lingo. So that's my bad. Yeah, I mean, you have to keep in mind I'm a moldy oldie, as they say. But yeah, not DM as in direct message. So no, that was my mistake. No, I'm old also. Yeah, I just I'm not it's not something I'm too knowledgeable about. Yeah, Dungeon Master, the only thing I'm familiar with is Dungeons and Dragons. The last time I tried to play, I got everyone killed and then everyone was pissed off at me. So that's the last time I ever tried to play something like that. But then again, of course, I didn't know that once you're dead, you can't start over the game and then just try to replay. Apparently, once you're dead, and you can't use the character again. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know that apparently that was the rule. Hence why everybody got so pissy. I'm like, okay, so the person wrote the story and they have to throw that story out. Anyway, so that was the story. I got everyone killed and everyone got mad at me. Whoops. But yeah, let me see. We're at the 2-hour mark, so I guess we're at a good stopping point. So I guess it's a good enough time to end the stream, and I will see you guys next Saturday. Let's see. Oh, let me see. I think I skipped someone. Just checked. Yeah, White Wolf seems to be the people who did the live action Vampire the Masquerade. The videos are the channel Geek and Sundry. There are some super rare occult books on transformations from the magical context of entering either vampire or lycanthropy. Yeah, slip. I don't know what you're referencing to. But yeah, I think right now is let me see. It's go way back to the 80s slip, I think. The board game. PC game is fantastic. The guy presenting, it said he is from White Wolf and his name is Jason Carl. Yeah, it was White Wolf Publishing. Alrighty. But I'm going to go ahead and jump off. It's been about 2 hours, so I should probably go ahead and take the doggies out to do their business. Okay, take care. Been great talking. Take care and bye. Room, thanks for the chat. Enjoy the doggo time. LOL. Alrighty. Well, it was fun hanging out with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the discussion and the chat. As always, thanks for stopping by. I always enjoy these chit chats, and I would hopefully I see you again for next week's discussion for Cocaine Bear. But as always, thank you for stopping by, and we will talk to you later.